The 2016 AT&T Winter Nationals are brought to you by AT&T and by CeraVe, a proud sponsor of USA Swimming since 2009. All right, the men's distance shot next up at the 500-yard. Peter Vandekay, one of the older records still standing in U.S. swimming. That's coming up on 9 years old now. Well, this field is fascinating from left to right. That is Marwan El-Kamash, Max Irwin, and Jackson Miller. All three Indiana University swimmers. So is Adam DeStramp in lane 8, so half your final field here from IU. And we also have a very talented 18-year-old, Sean Grisham, nitro swimming out of Austin, Texas. He was 5th in the Olympic trials this year in Omaha in the 400I. He's a world junior champ. He's spent time training in Colorado Springs with the proverbial big boys, and the biggest boy of all was pretty impressed when he saw Sean Grisham work.
Yeah, two important points that you make there. First of all, Grisham's the youngest guy in the field at 18, and he has the fastest time of anybody else, personal best time of anybody else in the field. He might not be where he wants to be in his training right now. Everybody's in a different spot. And then the second point I want to make about Indiana and what Coach Ray Lewis, who was a member of the staff for the United States at the Rio Games, has done for the Hoosier program. Brought them back extreme times now. You have to go way back to the Mark Spitz days since Indiana's been that good and this good in both the men and the women's program.
That's a great compliment to the college program. I do feel like we're in Atlanta, but I feel like I'm in Big Ten country. There's an awful lot of Big Ten swimmers we're going to see.
El-Kamash, senior year at Indiana, 23 years of age. Just turned 23, in fact, a couple weeks ago. Well, he has busted this thing out, hasn't he? 150 yards into it, he's already got a body length lead. His best time is 4:17. He went 4:20 in the prelims earlier, so he's got a chance to go a best time here. And if you ask any swimmer, the clock is their best friend, and there's no better feeling. Well, the gold medal, but no better feeling than going to best time.
Oh, yeah. All right, so now Marwan El-Kamash, 23, with his lead as he hits 200. And he is an Olympian. He's competed in Rio representing Egypt. Originally went to college in South Carolina here, but has transferred into swim one final year at IU.
You mentioned the Olympian part of things. He trained last year before those Rio Games in South Africa with the great Chad Leclos, Olympic gold medalist. A big rival that a lot of people talked about, loving to see that great reality TV with Michael Phelps this past summer in that ready room when he was shaking things up a little bit. But had a great training trip there and competed at the Olympic Games, and now his senior year is looking real good, Ted. I mean, he's consistently splitting 26 lows where everybody else is 26.4, 26.5. He's at 26.2, 26.3 on the 50 split. Again, there's a 230 flat. 51.4 on that 100 right there.
He has a 4-second edge here.
He does. 25.8 on that 50. So he is well on his way to going to best time. Again, 4:17 is his best. And you have to look way back. This is looking a little bit like a Katie Ledecky dominant performance, right? Where you're looking at her and everybody else by way back, and he is way out there by himself. It's got to make Ray Lewis really happy with this guy entering his senior year to provide that kind of leadership. But they're definitely going to need they want to turn into a top 5 program, which I think they can definitely do at the NCAA's this year.
All right, last 100 yards, and this race is all El-Kamash for first. Second place is Jackson Miller right now, and Max Irwin third, so it's an IU sweep entering the last 100.
51.7. He's definitely going to go his best time. And again, 4:17 is best time. He may go 4:12, 4:13 here. 50 yards left to go. He was 51 plus, 51.7 that last 100. 51.7. He's 3:47.8. He could go 30 seconds flat and pretty much go his best time. That was 26.1 on that 50 right there. He'd been 25 pluses. So he's fading off a little bit, but he's going to win this thing going away, and he's going to go a really good time.
And at the bottom in lane 1 is not a great swim, as suggested might be ready for Sean Grisham. He's not in contention here, but that is going to be 4:13.44. That is just off a top 10 time in the world this year, 4/100ths. But it's easily his best.
That's an excellent time. He will be thrilled with that 4-second drop from his best time. And when you're looking at best times and saying, if I can get a 10th or 2, I'll be happy. But boy, and this is a tough race to be able to jump on this like he did at the halfway point, to go out that fast, knowing that everybody else is so far back. That's a scary thing, Ted, because all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to die going out this far? I'm so nervous about that. But there were no nerves there on that finish there. Look at this. Completely dominant performance. And as you said, just off the top collegiate time in the country this year. Great staff. Ray Lou's over there to the left. You can barely see him, just out of the picture, but believe me, he knows what he went.
Well, Max Irwin jumped up there to take second, and Jordan Merrilees, Australian who swims at North Carolina, overtook Jackson Miller at the end. Merrilees claimed third. But still a, by far, personal best swim for Marwan El Kamash, and he's with Trenny.
Well, Marwan, that was a personal best for you. It also ranks just outside of the top 10 in worlds. You really were racing against yourself. What is that like? How different is that when you're racing against the clock?
I mean, I was just trying to follow what my coach told me and follow the strategy he told me to do. So, yeah, that's what I did.
You transferred to Indiana, now under Ray Loons. What is that like for you? How much has he made you a better swimmer?
No, I train harder, and yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't know.
You went to the Olympics and also represented your country in Egypt. How much did that shape also your training and the way you approach races?
I mean, it's awesome. I get to see what the best in the world to do, So I just try to what they do, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, congratulations.
Marwan El Kamash. Get the idea. That time left him a little speechless. Trying to process 4 seconds off your personal best.
It's hard to believe sometimes when we interview these athletes right when they get out of the water that they can hold any sentences together.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
And then there are the best of the best who basically don't breathe hard when they get out of the water. How is that?
I can't stand them.
I know.
Katie Ledecky being one of them.
That's the first person that came into my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking. There's Jordan Merrilees. And he kicked in. He went 24.6 the last 50 there to get the third place nod. Just edged out Jackson Miller for that. Max Irwin, pretty steady second place swim all the way. Marwan El Kamash. Some of the time that's world worthy for 2016. So he is the men's national champ. We'll have the women back for the 200 IM next.